have to pay attention to where Ling sees your whiffs and when Ling is going to capitalize the most, except we're not even going to see the Luigi. We're going to see that Dedede that I mentioned before. It looks like a little bit more of a heavier weight to shut down some of that combo game, and also some ability to play off stage, go for some of those edge guards. Very similar to how Peach would anyways, but this time with a disjoint is the Dedede.
It's interesting because, yeah, we did bring up the prospect of Dedede, though those up airs are going to be just a little too much for Dedede to handle. I mean, that's a big body that you could get comboed, that can be comboed, excuse me, by Z-, and certainly that's something that Z will not mind all that much. But so the zoning abilities of Dedede may well come into play, but also just that big old hammer that hits like a truck. And we have seen Dedede get success in these Wi-Fi brackets. In fact, it was a week and a half ago, I believe, was Mr. Brody Lee, of course, the gentleman that we know better as Atomisk, taking Fusion on that fateful Monday night. The Exalted one doing some work there. But now Dedede coming back, and in these Wi-Fi brackets, as we're evened up at 2 stocks apiece, we saw both the good and the bad of playing Dedede in this Wi-Fi realm.
100%. And also one thing that we're seeing a lot too is even though Ling may be using this much bigger character who may not have the same type of speed as Peach, you're still seeing Ling on the move, and the ledge trapping is still there. One of the key sources of victory for Dedede in general. But like you said, even though the kill combos may be slightly harder to land in some situations due to the weight of Dedede, you still have to be very wary of the fact that once Luigi gets hold of you, even with something like a dropping there, you could get confirmed very well. But that is the jump from ledge. He's forced with no jump, and great coverage from Ling, recognizing that, going off there and closing out that stock.
I mean, Ling has been just all too fearsome in these brackets. Number 17 in the ranking for a reason. So definitely a heavyweight matchup could be in the cards for winner's final. However, Z- looking to play the role of Rocky against the Apollo Creed that is Dedede, or should I say Clubber Lang, quite frankly. But either way, this is a big old lad, and yeah, that up air at the ledge, it'll never get old for Dedede mains, but all too played out for people having to fight them.
Yeah, also great DI consistently by Ling so far on these Luigi Tornadoes, because if you DI that wrong, you go straight up, and you see that Ling has been going straight to the corner repeatedly. Unfortunately, a miscued air dodge, and Ling's just going to go out there to finish the food himself, not one to leave any bit of food left on the table. Great job by Ling, taking a W with the Dedede over Z-, forcing Z- into a rather peculiar situation in terms of stage counter picks, because if you happen to get game 2 and you leave some things open in anticipation of Dedede now that he took a game, you might just set yourself up in a position where Ling can get a good stage for Peach. So this is going to be quite the pick coming up next, and you have to make sure that you play smart going into this next round, because that was quite a surprise, I would assume, on Z-'s part, fighting against Ling Dedede.
I think we're just getting a run back is what I'm hearing, so that was far too quick.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're running it right back in. After the way that Ling played that Dedede, I don't disagree with this whatsoever. Ling used the disjoint very well, consistently reversed ledge trap, which is one of Luigi's best strengths with those rising up airs. Even though you may be looking for it, there's a lot of jumps available, and you see already that Ling has been able to reverse multiple grabs, multiple of these combos, because they just cannot be finished for some reason by Z- here.
Yeah, and certainly doing a good job of staying away from the potential of that Luigi up B, which is just one of the things that makes this character, I'm not sure if feared or hated is the proper descriptor there, but either way, it is certainly a thing that has become quite significant when you're fighting Luigi, and you gotta respect it, and certainly in the hands of Z- as they're going to whip on the up smash and get back thrown for their troubles.
The fear's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of get off me, stop grabbing at me. But it's all one of those things that you always have to be paying attention to against Luigi, and Ling has consistently been avoiding these grabs, kind of baiting him a bit. Now, Z- is still playing very smart. It's exactly how you need to play against the Dedede. Put plenty of shots out, force them into maybe a miscued inhale where you have to punish them accordingly. But one of the things that he hasn't been able to do is consistently get these ledge traps, because even though he's got that one down smash earlier, it didn't kill, and Ling has been able to walk away from it. Good job getting the up air to back air, but the weight of Dedede keeping Ling around just a little bit longer.
And eventually it's going to be the down tilt that will let lead DDD to the exit very kindly. Make sure that you drop off your 3D glasses on the way out, and it's going to be Ling probably taking the popcorn with him on the way out of the theater with that inhalation. So DDD is definitely not something with which to be trifled, but Z-, I have to say, fighting them rather fearlessly as we proceed into the 2-minute mark of this matchup.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Oh, good job. I like the fact of just sending that Gordo back out. And that is such a scary trap. Great job by Z- holding on just long enough to not get hit by that, because if you get up, that can two-frame pretty easy. So Ling just trying to find his way back in, trying to look for that kill. And pretty soon, that up air will be the trick. Like we said before, the reverse ledge traps. Even though you fake out the idea that you can punish me with down smash, I'm going to reverse it myself and get something out of it.
Yeah, I know that the chat didn't see it, but I made probably the most memeable face I've ever made in my life when I saw him get up into that down smash. But yeah, this is Z- with a full stock lead ostensibly, but I mean, that's the thing with DDD. Are you ever truly in the lead? Because you get hit twice by that hammer, and all of a sudden, that lead that you had just don't exist anymore. Really looking for it, but rolling ahead, and oh man, you are playing with fire when you are doing anything other than shielding in the face of King Dedede. But even then, the shield pressure that hammer can provide, if you're just holding it for long enough. Oh my god, yeah, see what I mean? Z-, you have to have, you've got to be carrying some weight below the belt if you are doing the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, luckily the weight below the belt for Luigi in this situation is some invincibility for a little while with that down B. But trying to go for misfire before. Good DI once again from Ling, but now we're at the point that becomes trouble for DDD, and Z- has capitalized on it perfectly. Once you get a nice big lead like this, you now get it so the DDD now has to come in against you, and you have to get way more situations that are available to get the kill. But read on the up smash. This is still King DDD. It's gonna live quite a while, and you have a lot of big damage Ling. If Z- could shut it down quickly and go into this next game, maybe force a switch over to Peach, or who knows. But this is still very doable for Ling, and Z- has to play accordingly and continue that nice defensive gameplay that we saw before. Great clutch, reading that air dodge, and gonna get the up smash.
Yeah, and that's just Z- starting to catch on to the movement of DDD. So the run back was successful. Ling maybe underestimating the Luigi just a little bit, but you have to give it to Z-, who did not play with a shred of fear, which is exactly like you can respect the Gordos, you really have to respect the hammer, but all in all, you cannot fear them, because once you start doing that, that's when the hesitation starts to come in, and when you do that, you're usually hesitating right within hammerhead range, and that is where you have basically signed your own death warrant. Z- not doing that, charging in, realizing what needed to be done, playing a relatively aggressive style, and not actually doing well enough against the DDD to where, guess what? Now you're bringing out the Daisy if you're Ling. So if you want into winner's final, Ajax, you got to go through one of the best Peaches in the world.
Got to take on the true business here. Now we're going to see the Daisy come out. Now this is something, like I was saying pre all this starting, a matchup I've seen quite a bit. This is not something that is just super free for Ling to fight against. You have to play accordingly against the Luigi because of his experience against someone like SMB. You're going to see Ling play pretty defensive, trying to hang out on platforms as often as possible, but all you need is one grab. However, Z- unfortunately missing the cash out that was the up B, and now is going to be forced to play a game where he actually has to look for the kill a bit more rather than getting one right off the start.
Yeah, if you're not getting that, if you're not cheesing out that stock at the beginning, you are generally in a world of trouble. There is a lot of controversy that has surrounded the construction of the character of Luigi. Certainly, that discussion has been had ad nauseum on Twitter, one could say. But this is something that you can have all the discussion and theory crafting about frame data and character construction in general, but eventually you got to see it played out on the sheet, and right now Ling is kind of proving a live refutation of this character as we speak.
I gotta put a beautiful play-by-play down on the way that Ling just took to heart that last stock. Not only
Oh,
did
yeah.
Ling hang up by the ledge, put right at roll distance, but then quickly float and then canceled right back down in front of Z minus to go for that side B, forcing back off stage. Then off of the previous interaction off stage, set up a situation where it made it look like Ling couldn't possibly punish that neutral get up because he consistently just been letting it go. Dropped in with that back air. Ling perfectly conditioning that spot, but still looking at kill percent, so you have to be careful because, as we already know, the Mario Kart, once you get to this range, looks into the book of up smash. That is their Lord and Savior. There it is, going to come down and get that anti-air up smash, as we were just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, was looking for it before, and I was just about to say, I'm not really sure if I'm all that confident in Z minus relying on reads at this moment, particularly when you're down by triple digits on your second stock. I'm not really sure if that's the sort of thing that you're going to be looking for. You're going to be caught within the frills of that gown that Daisy is sporting. I'm not really sure if you call them frills or whatever. I don't really know Victorian fashion, to be completely honest with you. But either way, Z minus trying to make their way back to the stage. That dash attack installs just enough space with which to operate. Ling says, I've got a dash attack of my own. It's going to take your second stock.
May parry the first part, but you got to pay attention to the second. And one of the things we were talking about just a minute ago is the controversy around Luigi. Even though looking at a deficit like such, you always have to be scared because Luigi can just take you at 0. So Ling trying to play comfortably. I like to get up into immediate jab. It is very fast frame data. And consistently just barely missing these edge guards, but you gotta give credit to the fact that Ling is constantly going off stage, trying to make sure the Z minus is never comfortable. And now you see Ling starting to float around Z minus a bit more to bait these up smashes. And we're getting into a point. There you go, throw the turn up, force him in a weird spot. Z minus just sitting in the corner. Now you have to worry. Here we go, get as much damage on Z minus as possible, and hopefully maybe take a little bit of intentional damage along the way to get it out of that combo range.
And that seems to be the thing that Z minus has been playing around, setting themselves up to maybe score a kill off of that down B, or really whatever utility that they can get off of the move. Certainly using it to avoid the worst of that turn up, as it will be deployed yet again, that turn up. So yeah, you never want that thing in the hands of Ling. Has done so much with that particular vegetable over time, and that back air is going to eventually take the final stock. She just floats in your face and throws it out, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about it, Ajax.
Man, Z minus was so worried about the veggies that he wasn't ready for the cakes, and unfortunately was not prepared for that back air at the side of that ledge. Ling positioning, there's that first stock that I was talking about before, covering multiple things, making it look like he couldn't punish that neutral get up, just putting out 2 baits in front. Like, oh, here's an empty hit. This is probably going to have some end lag, so I could probably get up right into it. No. And then Z minus was able to get some kills before, but not able to clutch it on the end, looking for that grab. And Ling going to take it 2-1 over Z minus. We're going to see, and once again, very common match I'm used to seeing, Peach versus ESS coming up in a few minutes in Grand Final.
And we did see that second stock that Z minus wound up taking, having that turnip thrown away by the down B. Good utility on that move. But yeah, you get Z minus committing to a button right at ledge. That's where you float in with the back air, and Peach does that so freely and covers so much ground with it. I mean, it's no wonder why people have Peach at the top of their tier lists. It's going to be quite the matchup that we see. A main event worthy of pretty much any bracket in the world, Ajax. And you're talking about Lights versus Z minus Lights versus Z minus, which already happened a couple weeks ago, but no chance at revenge for Z minus. Instead, it will be Ling taking on Lights in winners final. So yeah.